Somebody call my agent. My hair is lifting. All right. Are we ready? I think we're ready. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I will.
All right. I'm ready to. Hey, folks. How you doing? Welcome back to, another live stream here with Tab in India here at Alliance Crossroads. To those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm Tab. This is India. Yeah. This is my wonderful co-host, India. And we do a monthly live stream, and we speak on things Alliance LARP, things LARP in general, and, whatever else comes to mind during our live streams. We got some really, really cool stuff lined up for you guys this time around. This is our 12th live stream. So we've been doing this for a couple times in a row now for you guys. Yeah. So it's been our pleasure to do that for you guys, and to get as much of that wonderful LARP content and information out to you guys as we can, and to kind of use this as our two-way back and forth segment of the thing that we do here at Alliance Crossroads,
and why you should do it too.
Yeah, so we're going to go right into some things that have happened, some current events, if you will. So we spoke last about the trip out to LA, and now the episode is live. If you guys haven't checked it out, I believe we'll be linking it at some time in the chat. But our Anthony Padilla interview went live, and I think it went pretty well. What did you think about it, India?
Yeah, I think it went really well. I liked the spread of different LARPers that he had on the episode. And I'm also just living for the comments about Tab. It's entertaining stuff to read through those comments.
Well, thanks for bringing that up. It was an interesting experience, and again, I want to thank, in case any of them are watching, Anthony and his entire crew. They were all class acts, all gems, and it was an absolute pleasure to get out there and to speak up this wonderful hobby that we love so much. I will say, though, the gnomes were pissed that they got edited out. Apparently, they had a pretty big interview part, and it just wasn't up to snuff. So,
a lot of stuff they say you really can't put on YouTube. They're not the most family-friendly group, that's for sure. Yeah,
they work a little blue. But if you look really close in the beginning of the episode, you'll see them on the floor in between Anthony and myself. Yes. So they did get on screen. They got a little bit of FaceTime, so they got to start. But
always there.
Yeah, Gus is pretty pissed about not getting.
Gus is pissed about everything, though.
It's true. It's quite true. Quite true.
I think mostly that he's never invited and just sneaks into the car.
Yeah, that also happens. So, we wanted to just kind of use this wonderful opportunity, to reach out to anybody who's again brand new to the channel.
We told them they weren't allowed to do that.
And in comes the dogs, and of course they're causing ruckus like they do.
As always.
Yep. So as I was saying before
the chaos,
a little bit of puppy chaos came into the room. This is such an opportunity when bigger media forms reach out and give us a fair shake. Yeah. And that's the coolest thing about what Anthony did for us. He wasn't there to make fun of us. He wasn't there to, I don't know, man.
Capitalize on the controversy or anything. He was just really, at least because I wasn't there from the episode, really sincere, honest, and had legitimate questions as somebody who has not LARPed before. Yeah, and it was, like I said, it was a blast. A lot of my more sophomoric stuff got cut, which I'm very thankful for. But it was fun in the moment because, the shots weren't that good because the crew was probably laughing. Well, the crew was laughing, so the shots probably weren't the best. But anyway, had a blast out there. And the only thing that I would change if I were to do it again is I would have loved to have a green room where the other interviewees
were so I could have met them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you know, production schedules being what they were, they had to bring us in and bring us out pretty fast. And schedules are a challenge when you're doing stuff like that. But boy, Zach and Raquel, I wish I could have met you guys.
Yeah.
You folks seem awesome. We just want to like reach out to both of you. Zach, like, your garb was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
You are such a, like, you're one of us. Like, and it's so good to see, like, again, just this little, like, zeitgeist that we're building, guys. It's growing and realizing that how many of us there are. And Zach, I just have like some questions for you, and you know, please hit us up in the comments if you're watching. You know, what game?
Yeah, what
game was that? Because we're trying to like zoom in on like the little ritual thing and be like, what system is that?
I'm zooming in on your spell scroll. Like, do I see a LARP title in there anywhere? Like, where can I find this?
Yeah, and then you know, so also Zach, the by voice mechanic. All right, I have a question for you, and this is, please answer this, or if anybody that plays that game. Specifically that game. Now, Alliance uses the by voice mechanic, but the challenge with it is used very rarely and by NPCs only because of the crowd control implications, because that skill would be really hard for more than a few people to use, say, if it were in a field full of 100 people.
Yeah.
So, like, please, in the comments, let us know what you guys do in that game system, whichever it is. And, of course, Zach, if you ever want to try a different game, come on out to the Alliance. We'd love to have you. We'd love to come out and try your game and keep this community growing.
Yeah.
What about Zach, like, really stood out to you?
Well, because of my LARP experience, as soon as they came on the screen, I was like, they're a spellcaster. I just know. I know they're a spellcaster. And I love playing spellcasters. So I really want to know what magic system you guys use. The fact that players can use the by voice mechanic too is super interesting to me, since I'm so used to running things on the back end. I haven't played in so long. That I want to know like how that works in a large crowd. And you also mentioned, Zach, how you have such high emotions during the game when you watch all your friends, you know, dying on the field, getting hurt, running over and helping them. I really want to know what death system you guys use. I always take a lot of care into the way I present death towards my players, whether it be D&D, LARP, or even as a player myself. And so I'm really curious, like, how, if emotions are that high all the time, right? With, like, fantastic. Getting that into game is amazing every time. I want to know what the like back end side of it is. Like, how do the game runners present death for your characters? How do they handle things like having an impromptu medic site on battlefields? Like, is that a protected thing? Is it something you guys have to defend all the time? That's my, like, I've always played a healer and that is my jam. Like, I love battlefield medic, you know, running in and triaging people, and then, you know, doing the whole death thing, like resurrection and in Alliance is one of my favorite things to do. I want to know what you guys do. I want to come die in your game.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. And then Raquel, the other wonderful guest.
Raquel Skellington.
Yes. Also, another member of this YouTube. They have their own channel. So if we could throw a link to Raquel's channel in the chat, check her channel out.
Oh, yeah. She's living our dream of going to Drachenfest.
Yeah, right. She got to go to some of the bigger shows.
Huge.
I absolutely loved their point of view. The one thing that I'm trying to, like, you know, one of our focuses of this channel is to work on that video marketing for LARP. And I completely agree with what you said, Raquel, about it being so in here and right here that it is impossible to shoot for film. And I've spoken on this before within in past live streams, that is so incredibly intimate, and to correctly convey that on film, you have to ruin it.
Yeah.
Like, to get the shots, you have to set up a camera and have it contrived and do it over and over again and then edit it together so it looks perfect. And You can't do that in live form, free form, stuff as it's going around. So we do the best that we can, and we definitely focus more on the action. And what I would like to challenge, I'll keep the challenge for the later stuff. I have a challenge for you folks in the Alliance, and it's going to come later on in the episode. So
it's coming though.
Be ready. I'm calling you guys out. So another thing that I really liked that Raquel brought up during the fighting segment was it was while they were fighting, and she brought up pro wrestling.
Yeah, WWE.
Yeah. So a funny thing, I also use that when I speak about LARP, but in a different form, to where I think the structure of LARPs in the United States right now are very, very similar to the structure of pro wrestling companies in the 70s and early 80s, when there's a bunch of little fiefdoms that are all doing their kind of the same thing, but their little version of it. So it's going to be a really, really exciting next 10 years of LARP in the United States, guys. I cannot wait to see what your games are going to become and what our game is going to become, because it's going to grow exactly the same. Because if you look at it, guys, in the 70s and 80s, pro wrestling wasn't that big, and it was definitely it was the butt of a lot of jokes and a lot of in the zeitgeist. And where's LARP right now? We're getting made fun of in major films. We're getting we're the butt of a joke in some really, really funny series. And I will say that it's fun breaking the stereotype. And realizing that most of us aren't the stereotype, but that goes like bigger than just LARP, guys. Imagine if we're just not the labels that we keep on telling each other that we are, and we're just a bunch of people trying to have a good time together.
It's similar to like how D&D was too. Seen as like, oh, only the weirdos play D&D. All the cool kids are making fun of it, and now it's like teenagers coming to me like, have you heard of this game called Dungeons and Dragons? I'm like, whoa. Whoa, hang on.
Hold on there.
But it's, look how much Wizards of the Coast exploded with everything D&D. Like, that's the trajectory that LARP is going towards.
Very much so. Very much so. And I believe that if we focus less on our individual coolness of rules and see the bigger picture, I think that it would serve the community a lot better if we get out of our own little books and show the bigger thing that this can be. And it's a pretty big thing, and it's pretty special. And again, it was a wonderful experience to get out and to get as many people looking at this thing that we do as we can. It's a wonderful opportunity, and if there's any first-time viewers that are thinking about LARPing, check out the rest of our catalog and all the videos. Hopefully one of these wonderful Alliance chapters are near you, and you can go out and check them out. But with that being said, we want to change, well, not really change gears, but just go on to our next little thing and segue, if you will, a little bit more. We had one heck of a season 2. As we said at the last live stream, we have wrapped shooting season 2, so now it's all editing. But what's really, really exciting is we get to start shooting season 3 rather soon.
January.
So we will be in Atlanta at their opening game on January 20th through 22nd. 20th through 22nd. We'll be down in Atlanta. We'll be shooting the opening episode for season 3 of this wonderful YouTube channel of yours and mine and ours. And I'm looking forward to it, guys. It is the beginning of season 3, and the difference between season 1 and season 2, and the momentum that we're gathering, and the eyes that are coming, that are starting to look at this wonderful art form that we all share and love so much. The opportunity is out there, guys, and I cannot wait to see where we go. But we cannot do these trips without your help. And we're gonna go ahead and show you guys how you can help us out and what we can bring to the table for you with our wonderful, if I can do the segue correctly and not screw it up, Patreon page. Yay! Patreon page. So we can totally get this. This is the most direct way right now that you can help us continue this wonderful experiment in getting the word out there. I will say from last year, guys, and India, you can definitely take it away with all the levels that we have. But last year, if it wasn't for the Patreons and Patreon itself, we would have made about half the trips because you guys put us up and over budget-wise more than once, and sometimes just paying for gas for a trip made a trip possible. So again, thank you for all the Patreons, and India's going to go ahead and describe all of the different tiers to you right now.
Yeah, so we have tiers from anywhere from $5 a month to $100 a month. If you really love us, you can do the War Chief. But at every tier, you get Alliance Crossroads Goblin stamps for whatever dollar amount you have pledged per month. So you just get that constant stream of Goblin stamps that you can use for in-game goodies, including boons, which that list is now on Patreon for our Patreon subscribers. It might be coming live for the season opener of Crossroads. We got a little tweaking to do to it, but everybody else can have access to that too, I guess. You get exclusive merch. We have t-shirts, mugs. There's a hoodie you can get this is the OG crowd.
This is the first iteration of the mug right there.
Yes.
It's wonderful. It makes the coffee taste 35% less bad.
Not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed.
You got a hoodie, and these are also all the original. So this logo has been updated to have a little bit different graphics. So if you have this one, we know you're the
graphics a little bit.
OG crew.
Yeah, this is the version 1.
Yes.
And as you can see, we're working on it.
Yeah. It's been updated. So if we see you with this, we know that you're one of the true fans.
Darn right. And the coolest thing
yes,
at the and this is, we always save this till the end, guys, because this is the most streamlined and high speed sticker you can get for $15. It's smaller than a business card. Isn't that how you sell stuff on? No? Well, anyway, we can get a sticker, but seriously, guys, the Patreon really helped us get through these the year last year, and man, it allowed us to get 2 chapters that we would not have been able to otherwise, and get more of this footage shot for you guys. So I am super excited.
Like, looking at our 2023 season, we're already as busy as we were last year, and we're not even done planning. We have some conventions that have reached out to us that we're going to try to get out to, and we're going to try to get out to as many Alliance games as we can this year. Alliance owners and player base, players, if you want us to come out and get your stuff shot, ask your owner to reach out to me, and we'll come out. And owners, keep your ears on your Discord channels and your emails, because we might let you know that we're heading your way. And it is a great opportunity to kind of show everybody how many wonderful Alliance games are out there. Yeah, and how different all of them are too. Like, just the landscape you're playing on, the way the players interact with the world. Crossroads is a lot of combat, but Chicago's a lot of people who like to role play in the tavern, and they're all crafters, and then it's really cool to see like a different subculture in your subculture,
Most
but
definitely.
them being like very welcoming no matter where you go.
Yeah. So we're going to show you right now, since I'm prepping it on the other end, I'm going to show you a quick little preview of the exclusive content that we have posted on the Patreon page.
Yes.
So we are going to start posting 360 video on the Patreon. Eventually it'll end up on the YouTube in a couple of months, but we want to get you guys, our Patreons, a first crack at it.
Yes.
But we're going to give you a little free preview if I can pull this off. Now,
this is 360 VR, so if you have a VR headset, you can wear it and actually like
yeah, you can't do that right now though, because it's in my pooter. But see how, look at that right there.
Drag it all around, view our site from 360 degrees.
Yep, and this is kind of one of our our prototype videos. It's just a cool little thing that we kind of prototyped and are throwing together for you guys.
Yeah.
And what we're going to turn it into throughout this year, and owners, I'm going to need your help to do it. I'm going to try to get a 360-degree tour of every site that I go to. And man, if I can figure out a way to get the owners to walk with me and maybe do a little interview about their game and about their site and about their chapter, it would just give us one, cool audio to put into the big thing, and it'll also give a site tour for all of your chapters. And we're going to be doing that for Crossroads, and Patreons get the first crack at it.
Yes.
So please go ahead and check it out. I believe I saw that in the chat, guys, for Atlanta. I'm planning on PCing. What are you planning?
I want to PC, but that's a downside, which is the great side of Alliance, is that you can usually end PC for free or cheap, so that's always an option.
Yeah.
I really want a PC, but they had a huge opening game with like 70 players, so
big game.
And they always like more NPCs. Chapters always like more NPCs, so I'm gonna kind of keep my options open and talk with the owners, Kelly and Tony, as it gets closer, and see what support they need on which side.
Yeah, and that's usually what we've always done when we're heading out to a chapter, is be like, where do you need us to help out the most? Do you want us out of your hair and just shooting, or do you want us backing you up?
Yeah.
So it was a great time doing it this past year, and I can't wait to do it again this year. We're going to be working and trying to utilize some resources that are coming into our grasp over this next year to try to help get more people out to the games. I'm looking at procuring and or upgrading some more capacity for vehicles, or networking with folks that have more seats in their vehicles, so we can pull resources to get more people out to more games, because the cost of it is sometimes prohibitive, but if you pull your resources and everybody chips in gas, it can become more affordable.
And it's traveling such a great experience. It's part of the beauty of Alliance, is that you can travel. Like, I remember my first ever travel game was up to Gettysburg, and it was very last minute. They were like, we have an extra seat in our giant van. Do you want to hop in? Last minute, drove 14 hours to Pennsylvania, LARPed the whole weekend, drove 14 hours back. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do this more.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And it's that travel that helps, broaden horizons and expand your individual network, whatever that may be. So we are going to prep and get you guys a little viewing pleasure. Now, this is something that we world premiered a little while ago, but we need a little bit of a break to set up this next thing. We are going to bring on our first live guest. It is going to be a friend of ours with the sister channel. She is going to try to link in, and we're going to try to not screw this up. So we are going to give you guys another view at our, we're trying to make it up to Gus because of him getting
cut out of the Padilla video.
So we're going to show his music video one more time just for you guys. Again, enjoy Gus and the Pustules.
Losing their minds. Let's go LARP. Just pile in our backseat. Road trip sure are deep. Carpool, guess I cheap. Let's go LARP. Hey ho, let's go rogue. Shiv him in the back now. Where we going next? I don't know, but you can bet it'll be a show. We're forming in the dinner line. You got your food and I got mine. I hope there's seconds this time. Let's go LARP. Cat farted in the backseat. Smell like Bigfoot feet. They didn't boot him, that was sweet. Let's go LARP. What chapter's next? I don't know. I just hide in the car and away we go. It's crowded in the backseat with all the folks you're gonna meet. Making friends can't be beat. Let's go LARP. We're standing in the treasure line. I got me loot this time. Players gonna lose their minds. Let's go LARP. I, oh, let's go. I, oh, let's go. I, oh, let's go. I, oh, let's go. Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hopefully, I know we had a little bit of audio, but you know,
something new is always something gonna go wrong.
yeah, I want
right?
you guys to pick a thing that you were brand new at and how perfect you were your first time out of the gate and see how that goes. But without further ado, I want to try to not screw up this next segue and get us over to our wonderful friend Susie. Susie, introduce yourselves to our live viewers.
Yay!
Hopefully.
Hey guys. Hi, battle buddies and healthy heroes. My name is Susie. I am not a medical professional. I'm just an enthusiastic nerd bringing you LARP and fitness content. That's how I start my videos.
Yeah! Well, hey, Susie. Well, welcome. We've been watching your videos from the, well, we had a little bit of a hand in, and I just want to, get you a chance to let all of our viewers know exactly what you're up to in your wonderful channel.
Oh, for sure. I would love to tell you about what my channel's up to. I actually really like how earlier in this very stream you talked about, sort of like shedding the labels that we give to each other and breaking out of the stereotypes. Because I recently came up with this line to sort of pitch my channel in a nutshell. It's the idea that I would like to invite my athletic friends to get comfortable with their nerdy side, and my nerdy friends to get comfortable with their athletic side, right? And that's not to make like some sort of judgmental or stereotypical comment, but it's the idea that LARP does build this bridge between those two worlds. The idea of being athletic and getting into fitness and going out and playing a sport, except for that sport is very nerdy, like Dungeons and Dragons, but a sport. My channel just sort of focuses on that crossover and how amazing LARP is and how amazing, being in touch with your body and exploring fitness is, and how they really feed into each other. So I've got like a variety of playlists that share this sort of content. I do deep dives on like mentality work. I do tactics playlists on like the strategy of LARP, and then I do fitness playlists on like what I do in my exercise routines to get in shape for LARP.
Yeah, wonderful.
And like also training videos specifically for like drills that help me hone my LARP skills. And it's just really fun to focus on that kind of niche aspect of the game and that kind of focused motivation for my fitness. So
do you have a specific playlist set aside for those of us who are in the off season and kind of missing that activity? Because what I've noticed during off seasons is that there's a bit of a fall off in athletic performance, so that the first couple of games in the next season are rough.
I mean, me personally, like that's my activity is LARP. So in the off season, I come back in the spring, I'm like, I'm ready to go. And then I'm sprinting for 30 seconds and I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. Never mind. Start over.
So
that's a really great question. Yeah. I do have some of my earlier videos started with the basics. Like I have a 9-minute like guided stretching routine that if you're feeling stiff or you're a little out of it, like you want to start there. And it's in my fitness playlist at the very beginning. And then I have in my training playlist, I start with the basics of like a wrap shot and a combo. And some of those drills are just like warm-up ideas, like get your wrists awake, things like that. So I don't know that I have a full playlist for like getting back into this season exactly, but I have like some of the early videos on a variety of my playlists are just the starting out, either into the fitness side or into the LARPing side of things.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
can I ask you a question that's a little off the beaten path that just came into my head? I've met you a time or two, and I happen to know that you're a mother. So are you looking forward to bringing your littles to game in a couple of years? Like, is that...
My littles are already looking forward to LARPing, let me tell you. My son has invented Mardigoop the Turtlekin. He's 5 years old, and I don't know, like, he's already got stories on top of stories for how he wants to play this game one day. So it is definitely like a family-friendly activity, and we play with our boffers in the backyard, and it gets them excited for running around. It helps them get their energy out, and it helps me enjoy, when they're at their craziest, we can enjoy the craziness together.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah, and embrace the zany sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, start them early, Becky, exactly.
It's definitely like a generational activity, right? Like you can have parents with their kids, and everyone of any age can enjoy LARP, and anyone of any age will benefit from the fitness side of LARP because it's a longevity perspective. Yeah,
very much so. I've always thought that there's no judgment on anybody's physical fitness level when they do come to a LARP, but there's just a rule of thumb, and I've seen it happen to so many people, that just that little bit of incorporating movement, especially if you don't like working out, just to work out, when you are focused on something else like the storyline, you don't realize that you just walked up and down that hill 6 times when you would have never done that just to do that.
Yeah.
And
so,
actually, like, I wanna even emphasize, like, thank you for bringing up my kids, because a huge motivation for my fitness life has been my job as a mom, like being able to keep up with my kids. And that definitely informs part of the reason why I want to be fit. But I often talk about how sometimes we get in our head these motivations or these requirements or this pressure to do fitness for these lofty goals, like being a good mom. And that's great. And I use that too. But it can also sometimes be negative pressure. And so my channel is all about, like, did you guys know that fitness can be fun too? Like, you're allowed to just have fun with your fitness goals. You're allowed to make this, like, feral, savage cheetah character who wants to hunt and chase everything, and before you know it, you're out there running 5Ks because you just want to be a better cheetah person. And, like, you're allowed to use that as motivation for getting in shape. And it's super fun, and it takes the pressure off. And you do. Like, I was a nerd before I was an athlete, and me becoming an athlete is because I was a nerd. So you can use that and really, grow your life in a healthier way in every perspective by really embracing that part of the nerd community.
Most definitely, most definitely. Well, Susie, it was wonderful having you on. We're gonna segue into some Alliance news, but we'd love to share your perspective on one of the bigger updates that just happened in the Alliance. We just had a 2.1 rules update.
Yep.
What'd you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, New Hampshire this year, that's my primary chapter. I play at New Hampshire. I also write plot for the Isle campaign, so, like, please come play that game and check us out. But New Hampshire ran every event as a 2.1 playtest this year, for the most part, and they offered a feedback form after every single event, and, like, the owners and the staff, like, everyone is always saying, like, remember to get your feedback in because it makes a difference. And I can just say, the feedback that I gave and what I saw in the new update as it dropped, like, just what I playtested this year was listened to and heard, and I've seen some of the things that I was concerned about being tweaked in the final draft. And so I'm excited that they're listening to players and they're doing their best to get in cool niche skills while also simplifying other things. And just the feedback aspect of it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it was. It's good to see. It's good to see progress being made in that aspect, and having more more avenues for feedback from the player base and less silos, less information silos within the organization. From my own perspective.
And the national staff has been like, have you seen Albert's like monthly reports? They are being so transparent with the new ownership and the new leadership. Like they're doing a lot to get more just transparent, which is really helpful as an organization for us to all grow and to say what is important to us and take that into account and see what we're all doing together. So yeah.
I agree. Well, Susie, we're going to say goodnight to you. Thank you so much for jumping onto our little show here. Had a blast having you. Can't wait for your first live stream. When's that coming up next?
Oh yeah, I'm having my first live stream event ever, and I'm a little nervous. Like, you're gonna have to give me your tips on how to do these live stream things, but I'm getting it all set up, and it's actually gonna be this like big donation drive. It's a New Year's charity challenge. I just posted a teaser trailer on my channel, so check it out for all the details. January 15th. It's a Sunday, and we're gonna do it at 3:30 in the afternoon Eastern time. And come and talk LARP with me, work out with me. Like, let's just share some hype together.
Awesome.
I'd love to see you all there.
Well, can't wait to see you there, Susie. And thanks again for everything that you're bringing to this wonderful art form that we're all enjoying. And hey, we're getting the word out, and we're getting some pretty cool videos out there too. So, Susie, you take care. And until next time, we'll see you out there. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. And so we are going to go ahead, and India's going to send a nice little message to Susie in the Discord saying thank you for a wonderful call. And I'm going to go ahead, since we're talking about some Alliance stuff, I'm going to go ahead and expand and talk to the current Alliance players. Now, we'd spent a lot of time talking to future players, and we want you guys to hang out. But if you are a current player and you want to help out, and you know that maybe the Patreon's not your thing this time of year, there is something that you guys can do to help get the word out, and that's commenting.
Yes.
Okay, the algorithm likes it, and people like to read the comments. So if you guys, like, say your chapter, your episode was a couple months ago, okay? Go back to that episode and put your favorites in the comments of that episode. Just copy and paste them from wherever you guys put them, where they started. Copy and paste your favorites, put them in the comments. One, your favorites get out there, get read. It's super cool.
Yep.
Two, comments get made, which makes the algorithm apparently happy.
Yeah. The more you guys comment, and the more you interact with each other's comments, the more the algorithm is like, these guys are cool.
Yeah.
We're going to make them appear on the homepage.
Yeah. So please go ahead and comment, hit the like, hit the subscribe. It does make a humongous difference. Guys, we are already seeing some effects of our current...
Anthening.
The Anthening. That's what we're calling it locally.
We actually have a viewer who said that they saw us on Padilla's channel, and now they're hanging out.
Nice. Well, cool. Welcome. Thanks for checking us out over there and checking us out over here. We are, It is such an excellent opportunity, and just seeing within the first 24 hours the spike that is already happening is really cool. So what I would love to do in the future is get more guests onto our live stream, and maybe do some live stream guesting on other places to get the word out. So I meant it when I said it. Zach, Raquel, hit us up, and you can get jump on. We'll help each other out, and get the word out about this lovely art form.
Yeah, the hobby in general, because like, you guys don't play Alliance, I don't think. This based on your interviews, I don't think you play Alliance. So come talk about what you do. Come talk about LARP as a whole. Like, it's not just about Alliance just because that's what we have the most experience doing. It's what we talk about. But like, bring more LARPs. Bring more.
Yeah, it is. It's super, super important, guys, that we try to fight against the, that this is mine, it's special, and you guys aren't, and it's wasteful ultimately, especially when there's a continuous cycle of larger games splintering because of what in the end ends up being a really small difference.
Yeah.
And it's usually about rules. Now, granted, there's huge different rules in LARP, and that's where we get our different styles of LARP. And again, another shout out, Raquel, you did an excellent job.
Her descriptive words about the different types of LARP in the United States, I was like, there's a word for that? Like, I think Alliance falls under the, what did she call it? American freeform?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sounds like a karate style.
We're American freeform.
I do American freeform.
No big deal.
It's pretty cool. No big deal.
No big deal.
So yeah, it was a blast doing that, and guys, it is a blast talking to you all. We got one more topic, and then we'll open ourselves up to some questions. If you guys have any questions, please throw them up in the chat, and we will certainly answer them. But something that I think that we are all, kind of dealing with this time of year is the off-season blues. A lot of us got used to seeing groups of people every month, maybe every couple of weeks if you have a chapter that plays a lot. Yeah. And all of a sudden, for a couple of months, it's cold out, it's dark out. Today is the darkest day of the year.
Yes.
Yep. And
first day of winter.
Yeah, guys, seasonal depression is a thing, and it just catches LARPers during this time of year pretty hard, and I'm definitely among them, and have had some tough off seasons in the past. So
I feel like part of why the off-season blues hits us all really hard is when you LARP with your friends, and that's where your friends are. That's not just like I love my D&D friends too, right? But there's something different about when you go somewhere and you experience things bodily, mentally with your friends. Like, you hike up that hill and you fight the bad guy for 6 hours together. Like, that forms a different kind of bond. And when you don't have that hobby in common, I mean, a lot of my friends don't even live in the state. So I don't only see them at LARP games.
Yep.
And so it's kind of like...
And there's also something to be said to go someplace where everybody's happy to see you.
Yeah.
And you are welcome.
Even if they don't know you.
Yeah, and there's very few places where I've been as who I am, where I walk into a bar and you get that type of look, and the anti-cheers experience where everybody's just kind of on this weird competitive edge. And there's less of that, and almost none of it in
LARP
the LARP.
is the cheers experience.
Yeah, it's if they don't know your name, they know your character's name. Yeah,
or if they don't, they're just happy to see a new face.
Wait a minute. How do you know what cheers is? This is some bullshit right here. She's not old enough to know what cheers. I'm barely old enough to know what cheers is.
Listen.
How did she do that? Oh man, are you like watching Nick at Night or something? It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, those of you who are in her demographic, Cheers is an old show that showed in the 80s and 90s, and its tagline was, "You want to go where everybody knows your name." Ridiculous. So, something, that I just want to ask you guys to do. I guarantee you, if you are part of a LARP community right now, someone in your community is having a hard time this time of year. Yeah. It's impossible not to. We are a big enough community, and what I would ask you guys to do, aside from commenting, aside from getting the word out about this wonderful hobby, check on somebody, reach out to somebody. Even if it's an extra message in your DMs a day, just hit somebody up who might need it. And sometimes that makes a big difference in people's days, just knowing that there's somebody out there who's looking forward to seeing him again. And one of the cool things, and I'm go watch the Padilla episode, but also pay attention to his sponsor, because as Anthony says, existing can be exhausting, and he's offering some resources to find some mental health help. And any kind of resource like that we can have access to, especially during the times when we don't have ready access to our support system that we normally do during the season, when you have a LARP where you can go to and just bitch about something for 5 minutes.
Or even just put it all away and not think about it for 2 days.
Yeah, and just get out, and be something else for a little while, just to turn down those knobs a little bit, you know, and turn down the volume on everything else. So, really, guys, this is you know, reach out to somebody, let them know you give a crap, and you know, ask them when they're coming to their next game or something like that.
Or like,
you know,
even beyond that, like I know in the off season, one of my friends used to have these big game nights. Like all the LARP friends would get together and play games for like hours, like board games or D&D, or you know, we would have off season packet crafting days where we all got a bed sheet and some birdseed and made some spell packets to prepare us for the new season.
Yep.
You know, even if it's not like a big hangout, right? Like I really appreciate just hearing from my LARP friends, and even if I can't go or like they live a state away, being invited to things is enough to me be like, oh, they still like me even though we're not playing this game together.
Yeah, and I can say personally, anytime I'm invited to something, which happens less and less as you get older, because you know your circles get smaller, and oftentimes I have trouble with anxiety when it goes to going to new places, so I often don't take people up on them, but it is always appreciated to be thought of and included. And that has happened since I've shown up to LARP, like almost like my second or third game. People are like, "Hey, we're doing this thing, and you come on out." And I'm like, that sounds great, but I'm terrified. But you know, guys, reach out to somebody because they need it. And you know, a little bit of help goes a long way, and sometimes just an ear is enough. So, guys, thank you for listening to that little, you know, I know it's a little bit of a dip in our zany energy, but for real, we are a community, and we want to watch out for each other, and this is a rough time of year for some folks.
Yeah. It's also a great time, on a brighter note, to go ahead and get those friends who are interested in LARP into it, because you have the whole winter break to make a character, get a costume, practice the game rules, and get into it.
Yep. And
drag somebody with you.
You can show them all these wonderful LARP videos about your local game, and you can take them out when they're not going to overheat and get heat stroke.
Yep.
And
but also take them out when they can get frostbite.
You know, it's a little bit half and half. You know, we're frozen on the outside. No, what is it when you make fish sticks, Ron? They're burnt on the outside but frozen on the middle.
Yeah.
It's perfect. We're frozen on the outside but burnt in the middle. I don't know. But yeah, guys, the cool thing about this year and this season of Alliance LARP that is coming up, Atlanta in January.
Yes.
We're gonna have a game in January to go to. It is
and it
providing
won't be under 6 feet of snow.
Hopefully not. But it's providing like this little like lighthouse right in the middle of the dark off season, where at least it is for me, man. Where I'm like, there, if I could just make it to there, I can get back to a game.
I was looking at my schedule for the Crossroads opener, being like, okay, I can only make it to March. I was like, wait a minute. January. That's a lot sooner. I can do that. I'm excited.
Yeah, as am I. So yeah, we'll see you guys out at Atlanta, and I think our next game that is scheduled is gonna be at Denver's opener, I hope.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope that you guys are going to keep on checking out this channel. I hope that you guys are going to check out an Alliance LARP game. If not one of our games, a game near you, doesn't matter what it is, go out and play it.
Yeah. I mean, even if like you guys have a game that's not Alliance that you play, you want us to come out and check it out, send us a message.
Yeah.
We like games.
Yeah, we would love to do another, you know, an episode treatment, what we do, for another game. You know, hit us up, especially, you know, a certain game that we've applied, that somebody in my circle applied for ownership for and hasn't been replied to yet. I mean, we have a permanent site, LARP, that is looking for, you know, a LARP site that's looking for one more thing, one more LARP to run on it. And since we already have the Renaissance fantasy thing figured out with the Alliance game, we'd love to have like a post-apocalyptic game. Know any? Check your emails.
Check your emails.
Jeez. Anyway, and now guarantee they're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna check your email, delete.
Locked.
But yeah, more games is great. Oh, that's right. Challenge for Alliance people. I think, Susie, that challenge for the Alliance people was get your favorites and put them in the comments of your own chapter's videos.
Yes.
Please. People, and that's like the best, because we've tried to get more, because one of our first comments was, can you get more of the role play in? And we can't do that because of the challenges of film, but you guys can give the context of those stories by posting your favorites in the comments, right? And then you can provide the context and the plot, because sometimes when we're on a site, we don't see the whole picture because we're, the runners are too busy running the game and we're too busy shooting it or playing it to get the whole, the whole shebang. And we don't want to ruin the surprise for ourselves anyway. Yeah. So that's right. Get your favorites out there. People love seeing each other in the favorites, like, oh, I made somebody's favorites, it's great. But also imagine if other people could read the favorites that are also just checking out the video and be like, wow, those little moments happen there.
Yeah, and if you select a timestamp, be like, hey, that's me killing the big bad guy at 1 minute 32 seconds. What's up? That was great. Here's the context.
Exactly. Guys, we are wrapping up this year here at Alliance Crossroads. You're going to see another episode from us before the end of the year. But as far as the live streams, we won't see you until we're right before we leave for January, for Atlanta, by the way. So yeah, our next live stream is going to be the Wednesday before the Atlanta game.
January 18th.
Yep, January 18th. And we're going to have guaranteed more topics. I'm pretty sure that we're going to have a more developed Alliance schedule for you then. Because right now we have Atlanta, ourselves, and Denver on the board. So we want to see the rest of the schedule get built out so we can make our schedule to get out to your game. Indy, if you got anything else, do we got any questions that that I missed? Anything?
Shout out to the person who came from the Padilla video again. Come play a game, send us a message. I'd be happy to talk your ear off about how to do it.
Indeed.
And thanks again to Susie. That was fun.
Yeah.
And, there was a little bit of technology issue, but, we learn from our mistakes. We don't do it again. So.
Yeah. I don't. Do we I hope we didn't swear or anything in that. When the audio came through. Anyway, hope you guys like Gus's music video. Yeah. Gus, I hope that was enough for you. I know you're very angry. I know Anthony didn't mean it when he cut you out, but I think we might hear from him in the future.
We'll be hearing from Gus's lawyers.
Yeah. So
this is just Gus.
Just Gus dressed like a lawyer.
Got shoulder pads.
So guys, we had a blast doing this for you. We won't see you again until next year, but guys, have a happy and safe holiday season. Happy holidays to everyone out there, to whatever you like to this time of year think about. And we will see you next time. And check out the videos that we have coming down the pipe. I believe we have the Big Mid. We have a convention, a fan expo, Big Mid. We got a whole bunch more stuff for you guys. We have enough content to get us into April. So we have them stacked up for you guys, ready to go. And we're going to have a new 360 video every month for the patrons. And
the Horde.
The Horde. And guys, again, thank you for all of your support, all of your love, and let's keep this ball rolling and use every opportunity that we can to get the word out there. Yeah. So until next time, I want you to find somebody who has not played LARP and look them in the eye and say, the next best thing about LARP could be you. See you guys next time. Catch you later. Bye.